Yeah, exactly. Now, I think we're going kind
Too
of,
much. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't randomly.
So,
Can we move to transfer window? There are
yeah,
something
yeah, go
going
ahead.
on.
Go ahead. I think Lukaku is coming back. I'm starting with Lukaku.
Yeah,
No matter what.
that's the thing. I did not actually understand the whole deal situation because he's coming. I don't know for loan, on a loan deal, but I don't know how will it work. There are some taxation going on with Italian uh, customs or something, the government, and I don't understand. If you understand, if, can you explain, or
I don't
maybe you can.
understand, or I don't have the details at this point. What I can tell is that there is a fascinating tax system in Italy that before July kicks in, which is today is here 17th of
17th
June.
June. Yeah.
If the deal is done, there will be 50% reduction in taxes that will save Inter a lot of money. And Inter cannot afford to buy at this point because they have just done a deal with Dybala and Lukaku. If he wants to comes back,
But it
Inter
was
have to
on
sell,
free transfer, the
but
Dybala deal.
still they have to pay his salary, which is very close to Lautaro Martinez' salary, and that's a lot of money for Inter at this point. And also Inter are not. I'm not sure if Inter can keep Lautaro too at this point. I'm not sure how they're going to do if
But
Lukaku is
there
coming.
aren't any offers so far I know, and
There
Lothar wants
there
to
is
stay.
90 billion or sorry 90 million dollar, not billion, $90 million offer from Tottenham, last I see, for Lautaro
Oh,
Martinez.
okay.
So that's a huge chunk of money for Inter. I don't know if he's going to, because Lautaro wants to stay, but in
Yeah.
order to keep Lautaro, Lukaku in loan and Dybala, you have to sell Dzeko. I don't know who's Dzeko getting at 39 years of age. You have to get rid of potentially Joaquin Correa as well.
Working Korea. But yeah, like if you're working
And
Korea and
yeah,
World Cup is
Alexis is
knocking
already
at the
gone.
door,
Yeah,
yeah, he wants to play so far. I understand. Working Korea,
yeah.
and he's not going to get any minutes. I don't know, like if you, yeah, Lautaro, uh, and they already sold Perisic to Spurs.
Yeah. So yeah, it seems like Inter Milan is liked by like Conte's Tottenham at this point. I mean, they're buying a lot of players from there. Um, but good for Inter if they can get some money and they can reuse it.
But do you think they will be back for the they will, yeah, for the title next season?
For sure,
Inter,
for sure.
with all those players leaving, and we don't know how Lukaku will perform after this off form season.
I think
And if
Luka,
Lautaro is not there,
yeah, Lukaku will do well, uh, and I think somehow Chelsea didn't work. I think Lukaku needs that uh, Inter return, and Inter also have fairly good midfield, but they have to look at one or two options that if they can get rid of some of the players, especially aging players like Vidal and stuff like that.
Vidal, I think, is leaving more. There are some talks. Yeah, but other than that, um, the big transfers happened in between, like last 2 weeks, probably in this on the same day or one day or after. I don't know. Holland and Darwin Nunez or Nunez. I don't know.
Yeah, very different kind of players, but both are
Well,
strikers.
is he actually though? I'm talking about Nunez compared to Jota and Mane, because Jota Firmino is a little bit different, like more centralized player, but uh, Nunes or Jota, they actually seems to excel. in between the center back and right back. That sort of area. And if you see I saw so probably the heat map from in Tifo IRL or somewhere else. Like it seems like they are acquiring the same position, and Luis
No,
Diaz is there,
no, yeah, yeah, you're correct. But Nunes can be a little
and they
more.
have Sadio Mane and all
I think
sort of like.
Mane is going to Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I saw Fabrizio Romano's tweet so far, and they sort of agreed in a deal, Mane and Bayern Munich, and uh, Bayern's first offer was rejected by Liverpool, and they are in talks, and they are going to make an official bid in upcoming in 2-3 days. But the players' agreement is done so far.
Yeah, no.
But they still have like three players who can play in those central position, and they have only Salah for the left, and Minamino probably play, but he's a right-footed player, and there are so many right-footed and similar player. That's what I was going to bring next actually. Like, do
That's what
you see?
I we have probably said earlier that Klopp likes those type of players.
Yeah, but those are similar. Like you don't need to spend 100 millions for the similar player. You
No,
can
no, no, no.
get something else.
Nunes is a little bit work in progress at this point, to be honest. But Nunes has potential. Um, Nunes is, to me, whatever I've seen from him is more of a Cavani kind of dynamic player um, than you can compare him to Diego Jota. Jota is dynamic too, but in a very different way. And they
Jota is more like Suarez.
yeah, yeah, you can compare that.
Because he can score with both feet also. Like he doesn't feel like one of his feet is weak or strong. I don't know. He scored probably the same amount of goal with his left and right feet, and also scoring headers.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a little bit of variation definitely, and also Nunes can adapt to the flank if needed. So it's just, but I still think it's 90 or 100, whatever was paid for him, 100 million. I think it was,
What about Roberto Firmino? Like there are too many players, like similar players. I told you.
yeah, no, you're right on that. But again, Firmino, I see
For
him.
him, it's important to play right now because this could be the World Cup. He can get something.
I don't really know if he would be in the first, like probably starting in the start of the season, but I see him more as a utility guy now at Liverpool.
Hmm, that's interesting, actually.
Yeah, um, I know it's a lot of interesting, and also we talked about Haaland. Obviously, Haaland is.
Yeah,
It would be interesting to see a real number nine under Pep Guardiola, and also
but Robert Lewandowski played well so far in Bayern Munich. If you
yes,
remember,
yes,
and that was a different team also, but they sort of played similar sort of football.
yeah, yeah, and
And you mentioned like City is more becoming more counter-attacking in
more
since last year.
yeah,
Yeah,
more
one touch.
transitional.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think it is just it'll be fascinating to see him uh, in in City and how he copes, and he'd score a lot of goals for sure.
and I in probably it was in Tifo. I saw that like they actually zoned out his scoring areas, and it's almost near the 9 yard circle, like the penalty area. Most of it actually, and City actually did not. If you remember, most of the time they actually tried to open up those sort of positions for their midfielder or like a false nine or someone from the wings.
So yeah, now
So
it will be someone will be restricted to go in or occupy the same space.
no, they actually can go in. Like we saw that infamous Gundogan goal. He was coming late in the box, if you remember.
Not really. To be honest, I a lot of goals have been scored on that position, especially for City, and a lot of players.
No,
I
no,
can.
I was saying that from the last match of the season.
All
Um,
right. Okay. I know now. Yeah.
yeah, he was sort of like coming out, and then he saw Sterling was getting, and he got the header. Actually, maybe because he was in the middle of the center back, and center back was occupying with someone in the middle, and he just got the ball like out wide open, 1v1 against the goalkeeper, and he scored.
Anyways, just a reminder, we're getting close to 2 hours. It will
Oh,
be it will be a bit long for anyone to see it.
well, let's. I actually brought something interesting. I wanted to show. Check. There was an interesting transfer I saw so far. Um, do you think Spurs in that level to um, challenge City or Liverpool?
Again, it's a little bit head scratcher for me at this point. Spurs have done very well since I would say after January or late January. They've done really well. Taking nothing away from them.
They actually beat Manchester City and open up the league.
Yeah, and also they've done very well without. I mean, all over, especially against some of the games like Arsenal. Some of the key games
Yeah,
they've done really well. Uh, I think they can. There is potential, but they're not in that level for sure. There's definitely potential.
yeah. There, that's what I was going to mention. Like there was an interesting signing from Brighton, Yves Bissouma. His defensive work rate. I want to share the screen. Can you see?
Not yet. It's coming.
It's loading
Yeah.
somehow. Wait. Yep. It's just loaded. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in the defensive third, like we mentioned Bentoncourt, and he wasn't that much reliable, to be honest. And if you see these numbers, like tackle winnings, like 2.9 per 90s, and fouls is fairly less, um, 1.2, and also, and not to mention he's playing for Brighton, who's not like famous for creating that much chances. But if you see offensive passing or offensive shots per game, it's almost point 0.8. Like, and most of them are outside of the box, and key passes a little bit less. So like with this profile, they were actually sort of looking for a guy who can actually try to play from the back, and I think it would be one of those defining transfer for a team right now. What do you think?
Again, I don't go by stat. There is potential. I don't. I don't actually like stats that much. There is potential, there is suitability. I'm pretty sure Conte is a very sensible coach. He knows what he wants. These numbers help to give you kind of a picture and snapshot that
Mm.
what he can do. Then again, he has to work hard with his teammate. But he's a
Yeah,
very good
sure.
player. Whatever I've seen in Brighton, I think Brighton has a lot of good players, seriously good players that are underrated, and it's a very good signing. Bentancur, yes, definitely there is a bit of liability with him, but I think that's
Yeah,
a very strong signing, and you know that what kind of midfielders Conte wants to his system.
yeah, sure.
And I think in a way it's a better signing than Declan Rice.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Declan Rice would have cost them, I don't know, a
100,
fortune.
80, 80
Actually,
to 100.
actually, United actually asked for Declan Rice at the beginning of like few months, beginning of this month probably, and there were a set price of 150 from West Ham. I don't know.
Well, it was coming. I mean, they knew that Manchester United would come for 2 years.
Well, I was not surprised by that
But
actually because
150,
everyone knows that like United buys players like with from their I don't know, some sort of voting from fan base and sort of
150. That's a lot
I
of
don't know
money.
how does it work. Yeah, that's a lot, and I was asking myself like, is he better than Jack Grealish, or Jack Grealish even deserved that much actually?
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
I cannot even speak after that. I was thinking around 80 to 100. Now it seems like, well, it's a bargain. Uh, yeah, no, I don't know what's the market.
well, I wanted to like, since we are talking for almost probably more than 2 hours, I wanted to like finish it quickly, but let's go through the transfer team by team, like in short, and like
And there is only
uh,
one winner. That is FC Barcelona.
oh no, I don't want to go there
Okay.
actually today, not today. Um, Let me share another screen. So far, what we see from football transfer done deal. We I don't want to talk about rumors because you can fantasize anyone like Barcelona. Yeah, can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are few things. Have you seen this name?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
And
do you know?
actually, yeah, no, that's not surprising. To be honest, Aston Villa is an up and coming sort of team.
Yeah.
Um, I think I'm not sure if Aston Villa team suits him yet. It would be interesting to see.
But I think I mentioned that actually
But it's good
in
for
our last
Sevilla.
episode.
It's good for Sevilla. He was bought
Y-
less than 5 million.
Yeah, they got 31 probably.
Yeah.
They can invest. Also, like Stevie D doesn't have any sort of style or anything, so I think it will fit because
He has a
he's just.
stylish overcoat.
No, I was talking about football,
Okay,
not
sorry about
not
that.
his style, not his style. Uh, yeah. Also, this another name, Boubacar.
Kamara is a
They signed for, yeah,
very good player.
from Marseille, yeah, and he was actually starting against Croatia last match uh, for France.
But what concerns me there is Felipe Coutinho. They
Mm,
got it for well a bargain, 20 million from
yeah,
Barcelona. and arguably the well, he's the most expensive player Barcelona ever bought.
Yeah,
But why it concerns me about that? There's Emi Buendia who is playing well, and I think Coutinho's permanent deal means that Buendia has to find a different team in order to play.
well, they can work together. We saw that against Manchester City. They
I,
actually
I
played.
I know that they can work together, but each time he's played well, he was next game he was subbed, or started from bench. So I think for his development as a younger
Yeah,
guy, he needs to go somewhere where he's gonna get some minutes,
that's
consistent
true
minutes.
actually. I think what Steven Gerrard is trying to do so far, and he said that in the interview, like he needed some sort of experience, and he had some young players, and he will bring more young players. But by that time, he also needs some experienced guy. Like
Not
that's why
Coutinho. I mean Coutinho,
Coutinho so far was working well.
first
I
five
don't
to
know.
seven games at best it worked, and then it didn't work. He was liability on that team. But
I don't know. Like
20 million is a nothing. But again, I don't. If there is, I have Emi Buendia on the bench who I don't know. I would go and buy Coutinho. But again,
well, I think they're trying to so far from his moves, and they are going to buy a striker as well, and they are in the market for a striker, like a normal 20 goal per season scoring striker, sort of that. Um,
well, good.
and 20 goal is not that much actually
Well, 20
these
goals a
days.
lot. A lot. I mean, how many players
No,
actually?
no, with all
Oh,
competitions and
all.
everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
makes sense. I was
not
just
like an
saying,
end of
just the
season.
league.
No, 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 not for the league. I think he was what he's trying to do, and what his intention so far is like biting those big teams in the cup matches and trying to get some from that actually, and and trying to get European games in the next season so far. That's why like both Buendia and Coutinho is there. I guess.
But again, I think this
Well,
would
if it makes sense, I
this
don't
would
know.
this would cost Buendia a World Cup place. That's what I'm saying. And he's
That's
been a
true.
terrific player for FIA.
That's true actually. But yeah, like Robin Olsen, another goalkeeper, bought from Roma for only 3.5 million, and Target was let go to Newcastle. Do you think any, how can I say, anything significance from this team, like signings? So far, they're on they're the busiest club so far.
As Aston Villa.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, Diego Carlos will help, but there's Kamara is a very good signing. Um, but again, I cannot picture it at this point. I mean, who is going to be replaced? So it's hard to say.
okay. Uh, there are some movements going on here also. Like two players are brought from Salzburg to Leeds, Aronson and Rasmus Christensen.
Yep.
Um, Matic finally reunited with um, I don't know, Jose Mourinho
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It was the third time, and Paul Pogba, Cavani, Juan Mata, Lingard, all are released from Manchester United.
Well, makes sense.
Anything?
Just makes
Mm,
sense. It's too late actually. Some of them, they should have been released a lot earlier. But yeah, makes sense.
Actually, Pogba was probably already published a documentary, like it's called Pogmentary or something like that. And
Eh,
there he is saying like it's not fair for them to not to offer anything more or something like that. I don't know if it makes sense.
anyone can have any opinion, and anyone can. It's a democratic world, I guess, and wherever they're playing, it's a democratic world. They have the free, uh, freedom of speech. So yeah, sure.
There's another interesting thing so far. Uh, Newcastle, isn't it seems a little bit, how can I say, silence this time of
No,
the
I
season?
think I
Like,
think Newcastle is operating on that note for last at least say 1 or 2 years. They've been
mhm.
gathering players that they think that is suitable on the team. Not a huge name or two that kind of steer the market.
Yeah,
So
but
I think they're just collecting,
Eddie Howe is their coach, right?
yeah, collecting some of the pieces and then probably waiting for the bigger piece to be at the end of the season. So they don't want to steer the market for other
Well,
players.
I don't see there will be a bigger piece so far, but I see there will be some interesting young players are coming to Newcastle United because Eddie Howe is known for that actually thing, like he has
To
this
develop.
thing to develop players like that. And I don't see anything interesting other than like Yi Chan Hung signing from Leipzig to Wolves.
Very good player,
Um,
actually.
yeah, of course, like it's brilliant. And what Wolves needs, like when we think about Wolves for like last 3 4 years, and there are few like blistering runners in the team, and he's going to be one of them. Anything interesting from La Liga? I don't know.
I think Hector Herrera makes sense. Luis Suarez is linked with a lot of clubs, including River Plate.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know how much it's going to happen. He might end up in MLS too, or certain other.
Actually, MLS was making more sense because I think it was from David Beckham. There was an offer last season,
Let's see.
but he
Let's see.
went.
Because
But he wanted to stay. So far, his intention was to stay. What he said after that match, final match, he wanted to stay in
I
Europe, in the top
yeah,
tier.
yeah, yeah, maybe. Uh,
Um, Anything about Barcelona? Like really,
well,
this
the
short.
Barcelona, if I start to, it's a rabbit hole. If I start talking, but you have to mention Dani Alves, a legend of the club, has
Mm.
been released, and Sergio Roberto, another legend, has been extended his contract. So yeah, no, nothing at the, how should I put it? Barcelona are still in the process of getting the vote. I think they got the vote from the associate members to sell their 25% of the TV rights, and they're trying to gather all the money they can. But still, it's not looking very well for them.
But if they take the CBC deal, there will be like 273 million euro.
I don't think they're taking that. I think there's a I said, the last episode, that there's a still dream of super super league.
I think in his last interview, Perez was saying like, let's see, because there
He,
will be what is it called, an appointment in court. What is it called? Like
yeah, he's willing to
trial
even
trial.
help.
Yeah, on July 11.
He's willing to help Barcelona. That is not a good sign for the Super League. I mean, that's a very good sign for Super League, not for other leagues. So yeah,
And also like there were comments from La Liga, like they are complaining to UEFA or FIFA against City and PSG. Do you
Uh,
want to add something in that?
no, not really. There's a lot of drama between Javier Tebas. He needs to, I guess, shut down a little bit. Uh, and the financial fair play was never in effect. To be honest, that financial fair play, the whole model is crooked and corrupt, and I think you can manipulate through that. He's
Yeah.
right on certain things, definitely. I'm not saying he's entirely wrong, but why does it take it to FIFA?
There are some interesting signings like Pablo Maffio signed from Stuttgart and only for 3 million for Mallorca. It's a lot,
Yeah,
let's say. But yeah, but Getafe was trying to building something since last season, and their performance against Barcelona and certain clubs were brilliant so far. I understand, and I think uh, Hugo Duro signing from Valencia and
I think
like
the one notable thing I would say is William Jose moving to Betis. It's I mean he always played those kind of mid-table sort of team, but
mm.
I think it suits the team.
But there are also exchanges for Betis and Sociedad. Actually, there are few players probably moving.
The other side, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I don't know. Uh, yeah, Real Madrid obviously made the best transfer so far. Aurelien Chouameni. I don't
Yeah.
know what's his, how does it pronounce, but he is in Real now from Monaco. What do you think? Is
Well,
he?
he's a good
Are
player.
they?
Let's put it that way. He's a good player, but is it worth 100 million? I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is that like they don't care about money, like how much. If they want someone, they get so far.
So not Mbappe though, right?
Yeah, but that's a different situation. Like, there are so many things involved. But do you think he's creating this new trio with Valverde and Camavinga? Because we discussed at length in the last episode about like um, uh, Ancelotti's influence on certain midfielders and how he brought Camavinga to the big stage and how he performed so far and how he's like being a fast like next season he's gonna get obviously more um, how can I say minutes and we will see less and less from Modric and Cruz so far and uh,
Yeah,
what do you think?
there has to be transition. But again, on paper, when Eden Hazard went from Chelsea to uh, Real Madrid, it looked great. That's why I don't want to. I want to reserve my comments. But he's a good player. I've seen him playing really well, and I think it fits. Looks like a good fit. Does he do? He does. It has to be costing around 100 million. I don't think so. That's the only question mark.
Yeah, that's true. They let go of Gareth Bale, Isco, and obviously Marcelo, one of the greatest player ever played with Real Madrid so far. In trophy, he's like he probably the most trophy winning player for them actually, 39 trophies
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
and 5 Champions League titles,
Yeah,
almost same as Di Stefano and uh, other.
but that's a problem with the stat. You're almost like Yeah, no,
No, I am trying to create some
no,
sort of
no,
like
no.
a
It's
picture
it's
with
it's
you.
not it's not you. It's going to show that same number of. But is he as influential as a player of Di Stefano? No.
Um, do you want to add something about Gareth Bale leaving the club? Or
Uh, I I think Real Madrid would be relieved, especially the tension and the relationship have broken down for the last few years. And Bale I still feel he's a wonderful player, and he achieved a lot in Madrid for sure, but he could have achieved way more, way ton
that's true.
of being the protagonist of a team player. And he I think somehow it didn't work, but I still hope that he finds some mid-table team, or he still.
Well, he said that like he's not going to get go to Getafe so far.
But Getafe is not a mid-table team; it's more of a
Yeah,
bottom mid. So I
yeah.
I was if he's
Maybe
wants
Sociedad,
wants to stay in Spain, maybe that kind of team, or Betis, Sociedad,
or Sevilla.
Sevilla, Villarreal, or something like that. So
Yeah, that's the next thing or last thing from La Liga I was going to mention. Sociedad, like there are so many players are leaving. Do you think like players like Januza or Monreal or Rodriguez?
to be honest,
Um,
always Sociedad is always getting this kind of players. They release, they get. So I don't see a huge difference. I'm pretty sure they're gonna get something very similar.
okay,
Adnan
because
was.
I liked how they played last season. There were few like so many transition, and they are so vertical, and in some games.
Yeah,
Uh,
they always started well. I think last two seasons, but then they lost the track.
yeah, it's because of squad depth, like how
An injury.
and they also yeah an injury, and there were COVID situation also as well. Uh, coming to uh, Syria, anything interesting?
I mean, obviously for Inter, Perisic leaving is given them some money and free up some uh, money for salaries. Um,
Mhm.
you have this Ranocchio, um, and also they have to find a team for their backup keeper Radu, who basically
Yeah.
costed them Syria last season. Um, Vecino
Also,
was
don't
a
you think
neutral
they
guy.
need? Yeah, don't you think they needed a left winger or something? Instead of going for Lukaku, they could have actually buy someone else to play in the left because Perisic is not going to be there
I think
anymore.
that's where Joaquin Correa might fit in.
But Korea was in like introducing more in the central zones.
Yeah, as a second
Like
striker, but if you
that's true.
remember, he played under Inzaghi Simeone Inzaghi for Lazio as both as a winger and both as a second striker. So he can play definitely. Um, who else is there? I don't know, but there is a rumor that Franco Carboni is moving. Franco Carboni is one of the twin brothers, Carboni brothers.
Mhm.
They're inter graduate. I think one of them is going to Hellas Verona, and the other Inter wants to keep and introduce in the midfield, either this season or somewhere, some first half of the season or next. But I think very talented players, both of them, would be interesting.
Mm, like right now, I think they actually cleared all the dead woods so far. Like at
Most
least
of
for
them,
the teams.
yeah.
Yeah, most of them. Um, like what sort of profile? they should look to compete both in Liga and at least going deep in the Champions League, because if you remember, they played fairly well in the in Anfield.
I think uh,
No, I'm not going. I was not asking about players. I was asking
no,
about
no, no, no
profiles.
profiles. But here is my question. You know, if you have already Hakan Çalhanoğlu, then you're adding Dybala. Why you have added Henrik Mkhitaryan
I
or
don't know.
similar kind of?
Utility guy.
Yeah, but there's a lot of utility guy on that side, and
I think I don't know. For some reason, I don't want to see Vidal anymore because there were some important matches and I don't know, he tackled and got a yellow card, and the coach has to take him off the pitch, and it probably changes the dynamic of the match, and they did not perform well, especially those matches against Genoa or someone else. I forgot actually.
no.
Especially the away matches, Inter actually did not perform that well, like the previous season. That's why I was thinking actually, like um, they need someone. I don't know, like if Korea is playing in the left, and
I,
then
I,
I think
I can only see Korea getting any chance on that wing. Otherwise, it seems pretty fat packed on the middle. If assuming Lautaro is not going anywhere, if Lautaro goes, yes, there's more chances.
okay. What about?
Juventus, obviously both
Mm,
Chiellini left for MLS and Dybala was released. I
mm.
think they are not even going for Morata, as far as I know. They are not going
Yeah,
to.
it was broken actually. Atletico was asking for 40, and I think Juventus was not going to pay
I
40
think
for Morata.
they're planning to go for Giovanni Simeone as a backup of Vlahovic, um, because Simeone is going to cost less. His release clause right now, if Hellas Verona buy it from Cagliari, it would be
Mm.
15 million, and they can get him for like 20-25 million, which is very cheap compared to Morata at 40.
But if they get Simeone and Vlahovic's performance is uh, so far downhill, I don't know, in the especially last 10 matches, um, because he scored already 16 goals before he joined um, Juventus, and suddenly everything went haywire, and he did not even perform in the well in the cup matches as well. So if Simeone joins, like, do you think if it is it a chance for him to become the main one, and like, or
There,
is there any
it's
chances?
more of a backup or second striker. I think there's very good chance Nicolas Sula would be uh, promoted on the first
Hmm.
team on some of the games. Uh, so yeah, I think Juventus is not going to spend a lot.
What about Moise?
Kin I think would be there, but there is nothing concrete evidence of any kind of deal that is kind of finalized. They want to keep him, but again, with Juventus right now, it's hard to say.
Um, what sort of like profile do you think they need now?
I think they need another dynamic box to box midfielder or even a defensive midfielder who can pass it really well.
So far, they're like the links. They're should I say? They're linking up with Paul Pogba, and there are some other players, and most of them are like older players, like 20 to
Yeah, I
28.
think they're going for that range, to be honest.
Okay. But isn't it the problem there they did not win the Champions League in the first place?
Uh, yeah, but again, you
And
have to remember it is Allegri on the charge. You're not gonna get something very different.
yeah, true, that's true. Um, what about Milan, Napoli, and Roma?
I
These
I think
three teams.
Milan got a very. Uh, I think
No,
they would not
they are not.
buy a lot of players. First of all, what
This
this is actually a
sold so far.
release to Frankfurt.
Yeah,
Uh, so they're not active so far. Whatever I'm seeing, I'm more interested to see what Milan does with this transfer window.
because if you are Italian champion and you are going to Champions League and how they performed last summer, sorry, last season in the winter, they did not probably win a single game in the group stage and went out. Um, so there are lots of gaps to fill up from that point of view, like in European points of view. And if you want to retain the title, and Juventus is spending also, Inter is going to spend,
But not
and
on that level of. To be honest, I don't see a lot of spending happening. Uh, but Milan needs to probably buy and at least two, three good utility players uh, on certain positions.
especially I think in the midfield because Cassie is going. Uh,
I think I can't remember who they were linked with, but at this point it's not really fulfilled or finalized.
yeah, nothing is so far interesting coming on from that side of Milan. But Napoli was busy so far. Oliveira coming from Getafe.
Yeah. Um, Again,
What?
I think they need to change their manager first of all, and then otherwise it will be a very good mid-table team.
Mm, do you see Roma coming uh, for the fourth place?
They can. I mean, Roma is growing definitely. There are several players you can see in the national team as well from Roma side. Um, yeah, there's a good chance.
Mm, I don't know. I don't have anything to add so far.
And not really, to be honest.
Yeah, and also like there were some interesting transfer in Bayern Munich actually. Barcelona was linked with this player, Nosair Matari from Ajax. He was already sold to Bayern Munich for 20 million euro. He was a brilliant right back. So they have these problems in the last season. They no, yeah, they were trying to use Kimmich, but there was COVID situation and there was such like lockdown protocol breaking or something like this. So many things were going on in Bayern. So they needed a right back and they got this guy. And he was also there was another transfer, Gravenbach from Ajax. And also they offload Sule and Tolisso.
I would not say
And
offload. I would say they could not reach an agreement to Sule.
yeah, because they're not going to pay I don't know much money for an older guy. They have younger players from Leipzig. They bought a center back last season, so they were counting on that sort of players. And Mane is linking up. So far, we discussed. Um, I don't know, like, but for some reason, this team um uh, performing a little bit. The performance is a little bit underwhelmed. I don't know if you notice anything from that Bayern side. But last season, in yeah, we saw the match against uh, Villarreal. They always try to break the opponents, even they are defending with 9 or 10 players. But I haven't seen any creative side from this Bayern team, at least this Nagelsmann team,
Uh,
and with the same players or similar players.
they have players though, isn't it? They have Sane, they have Musiala, they have Muller
Yeah,
still,
they're flaring brilliant players,
Narby.
like youngsters. Yeah, but with Narvi there is a different situations. Like with there are also like contract talks breaking down with Narvi, and he was initially wanted to return to Arsenal. Now he's linking up with different clubs. Super. So there are some unbalanced things going on behind the scene so far.
Again, a lot of names. I don't see one or two stands out to me. Maybe Adiami from Salzburg
Mm.
to
Yeah,
Dortmund.
of course. This is the so far biggest transfer, and they got him for only 30 million euro, and he's like sort of like a Haaland
Replacement.
replacement. Yeah, and also like Schlotterbeck
Yeah.
from Freiburg. It's a big transfer.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, it's just started. Hoping to see more movement as the days goes.
Yeah, Leipzig. They're not buying anyone so far. Schalke. Oh, so many things going on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is the player. Foot was performing fairly well, like in the beginning of the season, if you remember. And Union Berlin get Jamie leveling. Um, he was actually doing pretty well for Foot. It was brilliant. So there were a few names actually for Union Berlin, like uh, Paul Seguin. So like they got some players from Freiburg, and almost like nothing for. So yeah, there's this thing like they are trying to offload this thing, and they are going to play in the Europa League in the next season. So they needed a big squad so far in Berlin.
But again, I mean, we probably can safely close it for today. I mean, there's a lot of things
Yeah.
rumor. It's
Mm.
getting like ridiculously long, the episode. I even doubt if we make that big, large, our audience even would see any portion of it. If there is another time, we can ring back, and I guess it's going to go on for at least another month.
Yeah. Also, yeah, and another interesting thing is that like from 29th of January, I guess it's Copa Libertadores. So second round is going to start. Um, so it would be interesting to see, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, for sure. That is interesting to see, definitely.
I have nothing to add actually.
Okay.
I talked too much.
No, on that note, that's fine. I think on that note, I guess we can wrap it up for today. And
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for all the insights. Some of the transfers, even I was not really paying attention. Some of the very smaller ones, obviously the bigger ones I know, like the Monaco to Real Madrid deal, and that didn't happen. But I think it would be interesting to see some of the teams how they're shaping up. But again, there's long summer um, to finalize the deal. But on that note, thank you again. Hope you have another good week ahead, and we'll talk to you again.
Thanks for the invitation.